Welcome, dear viewers, to our deep dive into one of history's most chilling mysteries, the haunting tale of the bloody Countess Daria Saltykova, a name that echoes through the corridors of Russian history, embodying the brutal exploitation and sadism of an aristocrat whose reign of terror left a blood-soaked legacy that still sends shivers down the spine to this very day. Born in 1730 into an aristocratic family, Daria Saltykova began her life as a pious young woman committed to the teachings of the church and fascinated by holy shrines. But what could transform such a woman into a monstrous figure, known for the barbaric treatment of her household staff, the very maids sworn to serve her? At a tender age, Daria married Gleb Saltykov, a captain in the Royal Guard. Widely connected with philosophers and artists, Gleb was a man of influence. But tragedy struck when he died, leaving Daria a young widow with vast estates and over 600 household maids at her command. While some speculate that the sudden inheritance of power warped her character, others believe it was her burgeoning bitterness towards life that led to her horrific actions. Labelled later as the Bloody Countess, Daria's path to infamy was paved by a history of extreme cruelty and capricious violence. Reports indicate she was responsible for the torture and deaths of approximately 138 young maidens, most of whom were mere children, some as young as 12. These were not just acts of violence. They were emblematic of a woman steeped in despair and twisted madness, seeking to exert control over those who had none. Accounts from her estate tell of her sadistic methods. She would reportedly scald her victims with hot water, beat them with tree trunks, and leave them naked in icy chambers as punishment for the most trivial of errors. One chilling tale involves the brutal death of a pregnant maid, where the Countess allegedly invited a priest to perform last rites over a body that bore gruesome signs of savagery. It is even said that onlookers witnessed the Countess incinerating the remains of her victims, stripping them of their hair and dignity. These horror-filled nights at the Saltykov estate painted a terrifying picture of despair, cloaked in the guise of aristocratic privilege. However, the tides began to turn for Daria when Catherine the Great ascended to the throne of Russia, determined to bring modernization and enlightenment to her reign. Though the serfdom class remained oppressed, Catherine granted them certain rights, including the ability to petition against their masters, a right that would ultimately lead to Daria's downfall. After years of abuse, 22 complaints against Daria were recorded. However, it wasn't until a courageous maid gathered the strength to confront Catherine directly that the Duke's facade began to fall apart. Widespread testimonies revealed a terrifying truth. This was no mere mistress losing her temper, but a vicious murderer whose grip on madness knew no bounds. In the aftermath of a rigorous 2-year investigation, Countess Daria Saltykova was brought to justice. Hundreds of witnesses, including terrified peasants and former employees, shared harrowing tales that painted a grim picture of her reign of terror. The charges mounted, revealing a pattern of systematic cruelty against her maids, culminating in the deaths of 38 young girls. The court, under the watchful eye of Catherine the Great, was a spectacle of tension and horror, where every testimony further unraveled Daria's twisted existence. Eventually, she was found guilty, not only of abuse but of murder. Her punishment? A sentence of exile to Serbia, where she would spend the remainder of her days in isolation. Though spared from execution, her fate was no less grim. Locked away in a dark cell in a Moscow monastery for 3 long decades, Daria experienced a fate akin to the torment she inflicted on so many. For every week, she was allowed only a brief respite to attend church services. A cruel irony for a woman who had once wielded her faith to justify her tyranny. As the years rolled by, the legend of Daria Saltykova morphed from a tale of betrayal and brutality to one of eerie fascination. Observers speculated whether her confinement offered any semblance of justice or merely served as a continued reflection of her monstrous character. Did she find redemption in the silence of her cell, or did the darkness within her only deepen? Daria Saltykova died in 1801, leaving behind a history woven with threads of horror, cruelty, and a society that often turned a blind eye to the suffering of the vulnerable, echoing into modern discussions about justice and power. In reflecting on her stark legacy, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance in the face of abuse and the necessity of compassion towards those who serve and suffer in silence. As we tread forward, let us be inspired to advocate for justice, ensuring that no tale of horror is forgotten and no voice goes unheard. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the life of Countess Daria Saltykova. If you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales that illuminate the shadows of our history.